I'm Angie with Core Star Pilates, and today's exercise is swimming. Are you ready to go for a swim? Well, we're going to do it on our mat, so no water involved. You're going to come down, face down or prone onto your mat. So like so. So before we go anywhere, let's check in this position. So think about powerhouse on, belly button kind of lifting away, metaphorically or really. Buns on. Because we are going to be doing legs, I want you to reach for your toes, and then you're going to take your arms overhead, and you can either be palms down or palms in. What feels best for your shoulders? From here, we're going to float the torso up. So I'm in a slight extension, so I'm not hovered. I'm a little bit here, and then you swim, kick, arms and legs. So you're stabilizing through your torso while your arms and legs move. So I'm doing this with control and not just flopping around, right? With control. And you can kick up the pace. Similar to the 100, you're going to inhale and exhale as you move the arms and legs. Let's do one more breath. Inhale and exhale. And pause. And you come down. Hands under shoulders. Push up to all fours. Maybe a little cat spine. And that is swimming. So have you tried swimming and you feel like a first time swimmer just kind of splashing around with no control? Let's break it down. So we're going to come to all fours and we're going to get used to this idea of stabilizing through the powerhouse as we unweight one side of our body. So I'm going to start with just the arms, and you're going to slide one arm out. Maybe the fingertips stay down, maybe they lift up, and then you bring it back in, and then we'll go to the other side. Slide the arm out, lift up or not. And the idea is if I had a glass of water on the back of my pelvis, I would not be letting my weight shift so that the water would spill out or the glass would just plain old fall off. So a lot of core work through the midsection to stabilize. Once you feel comfortable with the arms, then we turn our attention to the legs. So same thing, there is going to be a slight shift, but you're trying not to shift so much, again, that your pelvis moves. You're going to slide that leg out, maybe lift, maybe not. Bring it down, slide it in. Other side, slide out, maybe lift. There's your glutes to lift, hamstrings help. Bring it down and in. Once you get comfortable with that, opposite arm, not same side, opposite arm and leg. So I'm going to go left arm, right leg out. Maybe there's a lift, maybe not. Bring it down and in. Other side, slide out, lift and in. So that's a great way to start. And then to continue that, we're going to come all the way down to the mat. I'm going to stack my hands. And at home, you can absolutely bring your head all the way down. I'm going to keep my head lifted so I don't get muffled on my mic. And we're going to focus on the legs at first. So we're going to fire the right side, lift that right leg up, bring it down. Left side, fire the left side, lift and down. It's the same idea as in the all fours position, that you're trying to do this without letting the weight shift. And then when you get comfortable with that, maybe both legs lift and lower, lift and lower. And then maybe we add in the arms. So I do like palms in for this. So I'm going to go back to single. So I'm going to go right arm, left leg lifts, bring it down, left arm, right leg lifts. Again, trying to stabilize. So now I'm in a little bit of an extension. So I am going to lift up. So now that I'm not here, I'm a little lifted, getting used to holding that slight extension and trying not let the torso rock as I do this. And if you want a little bit more work, lift arms and legs at the same time and lower down, lift and lower. And then you go into this nice slow, and as you get comfortable, you start to speed it up, and there's your swimming. And that's how you can break down the swimming into little pieces, parts, to get comfortable with the idea of using your powerhouse to stabilize the torso against the movement of the arms and legs. So now you feel like Michael Phelps swimming through the water as opposed to a base beginner. Let's make it a little bit more challenging. How do you do that? Say it with me. Instability. So there's a few ways you can create that instability. Certainly you can use a folded up blanket, maybe a pillow. I wouldn't recommend a smaller ball. It's maybe a little too small for this kind of work. I'm going to use a disc, but another way you can do this would be with a roller. If you do a roller, you do want it to be across the hips and not in line. And depending on how firm your roller is, you might want to roll your mat or use a blanket or a towel over the roller to give you a little bit more comfort, because sometimes those rollers, well, they're a little bit challenging. Another great way is to use a BOSU. Now, if you're on the BOSU, you will have the option of lifting both the upper body and the lower body, but you got to find the right balance point. With something smaller like the disc, I'm not going to lift my upper body because that's going to put a little too much work on my spine, because this isn't quite enough for a balance point. So this is how it works. This is going to be at the front of your pelvis. And again, you do need to find a balance point. So depending on how high up you are, you can be down on your hands, stack your hands, bring your forehead down. If you're up a little bit higher, you can be on elbows. So I'm going to choose elbows for this one. I'm going to pull the elbows back towards my waistline. I'm going to think about my abs on. I'm going to squeeze my buns, and I'm going to float my legs up and see if I'm in a good position where I can keep my legs lifted without my lower back having to fire a lot. I feel like I need to adjust just a little bit here. And there we go. So this feels like a great balance point. So from here, you swim, kick the legs, and you try not to fall off. Now, if you're in a BOSU, maybe practice lifting and lowering a few times. If you want to make this a little bit more challenging, again, maybe get less contact with the floor. So now I'm on my hands and my elbows are not down. So a little bit more work to stabilize against the swim kicking of the legs. So there you go. A nice way to introduce a little bit of instability to make swimming just that much harder. I hope I've inspired you to incorporate this exercise into your practice at home. If you take pictures or video and post it on social media, either Facebook or Instagram, and tag us, Core Star Pilates, and use the hashtag RealBodiesDoingPilates, we'll share your posts on our feeds. I thank you for watching, and I look forward to sharing more exercises with you.